I see a familiar name.
Whoa.
Welcome, everyone. We're so glad to have you here tonight. Everybody's getting connected and getting in the room and everything. So if you want, you could unmute yourself and just say hello to everyone if you wanted. I see Brian. I see Rebecca. I see Larston. Welcome, everyone. You're all doing well tonight.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing very well, thanks. There's Elena. Shout out to Elena. Sierra. Morgan. There's Tamika.
Rebecca, were you on another session?
Yes, I was. I think it was last week.
Nice.
Okay, welcome back.
Brian has a DJ voice.
Well, thank you. I've been told that before, but I never really tried to pursue that career.
Well, you definitely have a radio voice.
Yeah, he does.
It's like the late night 80s love music radio station.
Give him a category.
Just went there, yeah. Hello, everyone.
All right, Michelle, everybody's ready.
We're ready? All right, let's roll. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michelle Fletcher, and I am the academic recruiter for the college. Thank you all for joining us in this session. Now, it has been our sincere effort over these past 9 sessions to make sure that you are well informed about all things CVCC. Now, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, here's a quick recap. We've talked about how to get started at CBCC. We've talked about transfer and technical programs, how to pay for college. We've talked about dual enrollment, high school IEPs, as well as accommodations at the college level. We focus on clubs and activities here at CBCC. We've talked about the resources that we make available to our students so that they can be successful. We've talked about resources that can assist them in job search and resume writing, as well as resources they might need in the community. So we have put out a lot of information. I recap that because I want you to know that all these sessions have been recorded and they are located on our website and on our YouTube channel. So if you would like, please, by all means, go and take a listen, and you're gonna learn a lot in those sessions. Now, before we move into the general session, I'm gonna give a student or two an opportunity to win some Cbc swag. So what can you win? Got this beautiful water bottle here that you can win. Got a beautiful slap bracelet that's a USB. And then I have this beautiful leather-bound journal, just in case you wanna start journaling about your future at CBCC. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to read a poem, and it's very short, and I want 1 or 2 brave students to tell all of us their takeaway once I've read this poem. And if you do, I am going to be sending some swag your way. Here's how it reads. If you think you're beaten, you are. If you think you shouldn't try, you don't. If you like to win but think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. If you think that you'll lose, you've lost. For out in life we find, success begins with a person's will. It is all in the state of mind. Life battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the person who wins is the person who thinks he can. All right, I just put it out there. Somebody share with us. What's your takeaway?
I guess my takeaway on it would be that if you don't try, you have already failed.
Beautiful. That's exactly right. You got to try. Somebody else? Come on, I got one more out there somewhere. I tell you what, let me turn it on the panel. I need someone from the panel to tell me what's your takeaway for this poem to one of our students.
Say.
Huh?
Say.
Say what?
She just said.
You are what you think.
Yep. So she can hear you.
You are what you think.
You are what you, is that what you said? You are what you think?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's what I would say, and I agree with both of those. That's exactly right. You got to try. We have some hard times right now, and we're struggling through some things. But you've got to find a positive place in your mind and your heart, and you've got to want whatever this thing is you're going after. And in this case, it's pursuing your college education. You got to want it bad, and you've got to keep a positive mindset about it and pursue that thing, because in the end, the person that wins is the person who think they can. So having said that, if you would give your information to Kimberly French, I am going to have some Cbc swag coming your way, all right? So as I've said in previous sessions, these information sessions are designed to get information to you, but we also want to hear from you. So we will have a Q&A at the end of the session so that we can hear your questions, because again, we want to make sure we are that you are informed and we are answering your questions. Now, each week we highlight a different office, and today we're highlighting our foundation office. Chris Bryant is the VP for this office, and he's going to talk with you probably about several things, but he's going to talk with you about scholarships. Now, in just a moment, Dean Ferris is going to come and say a quick hello. Kimberly French will come and lay out the rules of engagements for this afternoon. After that, you will hear from the presenters. We have 6 presenters this evening, and each one will have about 7 minutes to share with you. Karen Alexander, our registrar, will talk with you about the application process. Ryan Mcnamara, our financial aid coordinator, will talk with you about how to find the money. Chris Bryant is going to talk with you about foundation, scholarships, etc. Britney Cochran is our navigator. She's going to talk with you about getting started. Mark Zacola is our counselor. He will talk with you about academic and technical programs. And Deanne is going to round the corner and talk with us about all of the wonderful things, activities, and fun things we do at Cvcc. She is our student activity coordinator. Also on the panel, we have Donna Grant Page, our dual enrollment coordinator, and then Hunter Overstreet, our student success coordinator. They are here to answer your questions as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I am going to give it over now to Dean Ferris.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone. I am probably the least important person you will hear from tonight. We've got a wonderful assembly of our great folks. I'll say one thing, and I really hope that you take this away from us tonight, and that is, we love our students. We love what we do. We love helping students. And every other day or so when we do these sessions, we get so jazzed up to see all these names in this little Zoom meeting. We wish we were here on campus, but we're not right now. But I tell you, we love seeing you, and we look forward to being able to help you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it over to Kimberly French, and she's going to do a couple of things. She's going to take a quick poll to find out something pretty interesting about you, and then she's also going to kind of lay the ground rules of how all this works tonight, and with things like how to raise a hand or how to use the chat bar. So Kimberly, I'm going to send it over to you, and you can get us started. Thank you.
Thank you. It's so great to see all you here tonight. We are excited to have you here. I'd like to start off with just a little bit of engagement with you. I'm going to do a quick poll to kind of see, how did you hear about us? I'm going to launch the poll and give you a few minutes, just a few seconds, to be able to answer the questions. Can everyone see that okay? All right, they're coming in. All right, I'm going to end the polling and I'm going to share the results with you. All right, so we have 2 for high school, 1 from a friend, 1 for family member, 1 who heard it in the community, 1 text message, and then 3 email that you received. The 2 that were other, would you be willing to share with us what that was? You can unmute yourself if you want to share what that would be. Or you can type it in the chat feature, whichever.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Kenny.
Okay, for me, I had already known about Cvcc because I was somewhere around in the community. So I pretty much already knew about the school there.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Kenny.
You're welcome.
There's one more that had different. By the way, any of these polls that are taken tonight, they are anonymous, so I don't know who's responding and who's not. I just want you to know that when you answer them. So if you, so anybody, the other one, how did you hear about CVCC in tonight's session?
Oh, I think it was me. I did it on accident. I was just joining the chat.
Oh no, that's okay. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. So how did you find out about us, Thomas? How'd you hear about this session?
I got a text message.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, we're trying different modes to be able to get the information out to everyone. So thanks for sharing that information with us. I do want to tell you a little bit about the rules of engagement tonight. So down at the bottom of your screen, you should be able to see like the participant list. So under the participant, if you click it, you should be able to raise your hand. So if you have a question, feel free to raise your hand and we'll be able to see that information there. You can also put it in the chat feature. So if you want to put a question in the chat, I'll be monitoring those for you during the presentations. Each of the presenters will ask afterwards if there are any questions, or you can wait till the very end. We'll have a question and answer session at the very end for you too. There's also a little area at the bottom that says reactions. If there's something that's good that you like, put a thumbs up, or if you think something's really good you want to clap about, you can clap. Either way. So those are the different things that you can do by using the features. So now I'm going to hand it over to Karen Alexander, our college registrar, to talk to you about our admissions processes.
All right, thank you, Kim, and welcome everyone. Regardless of how you heard about the session tonight, we are very happy that you've joined us. You have joined us on a very special night. This would have been our commencement ceremony night for the class of 2020. So we regret that we're not there lining graduates up at the moment, but there's no place we would rather be than right here with you guys, getting our next graduating class from Cvcc ready to go. So I just want to walk you through a few things and welcome you and let you know what you need to do to get the application process started. The first step, obviously, to attending Cvcc, which many of you may have already done, is to apply to the college. To do that, you simply go to our website, click on the admissions link and apply. The application itself takes only about 5 or 10 minutes. It's a quick and easy online application. Once you get that application completed, or if you already have, you'll receive a confirmation immediately from the college, and that is your welcome to the college. Once you have that, you are accepted to Cvcc, so congratulations. Once you have that done, there's a few things you can do. You'll be hearing from our counselors and navigators later about how to get registered for your classes, but just to get yourself prepared and get everything in line that you need, you can go ahead and start sending in your transcripts. Even though we're working in a remote environment like you see here, you see faces in boxes from homes and different places. We want you to know that we have all the services available to serve you the same as if we were face-to-face, and soon we will be face-to-face again in the future. But for now, we are fully able to serve you. We are receiving transcripts electronically and via mail. I recognize a few names from the group here tonight. We've already started receiving some transcripts. So please go ahead and send those in if you haven't, from high school and college. If you have college transcripts, we can look to see if you have any transfer credit that will come over, or if you have any prerequisites for courses, we can pull those from your transcripts as well. A few other things you want to look at is on your confirmation, you'll see that you have a student ID number, a 7-digit, it'll be called an IMPL ID or student ID. And you'll also see that you have been coded either in-state or out-of-state for tuition purposes. Now, if you are a Virginia resident, if you've been a lifelong resident, or if you've been here for more than a year, you likely will qualify for the Virginia in-state tuition rate. That is the best available tuition rate, and it's reserved only for Virginia residents. So if you feel that you qualify, you definitely want to make sure you have that applied to your account. If you need to check that, you can sign back into where you did your application using the username and password you created and look at it, or give any of us a call and we'll be glad to check that for you. If it's not correct, there's a simple appeal process that you can do. Provide your documentation showing that you've been a Virginia resident, and we can look at recoding that for you if necessary. So that's one piece that you can do to get started. Another is to be familiar with your My Cvcc account. Once you are an accepted student to the college, you will have access. You will go to the Cvcc website, centralvirginia.edu, click in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little link that says My Cvcc. When you click there the first time, you can set up your username and password. You'll set some security questions to get you in the system. So if you ever need to reset a password in the future, you'll have that ready to go. And once you have access, that's where you will be able to register for your courses. You'll be able to see your unofficial transcripts, see your account, anything that you need there. You'll be able to request transcripts through the site. So you can go ahead and begin setting that up and getting ready to speak with the counselor. Now, one last thing that I want to talk about is simply another benefit that's offered, and that's your Cvcc email address. You will all receive a Cvcc email that will activate at the time that you register for your first courses. So if you do not have that now, not a problem whatsoever. All you have to do is just use your personal email. You can communicate with any of us here on the panel or any else, other staff members in the college who can help you. And once you get registered in the courses, you will get your email activated. Speaking of courses, fall registration is currently open. Fall classes begin August 24th. Also, we have summer registration open. So if you are really eager to get started and want the best, quickest start, you can also register for summer classes currently. We are offering those fully online. Those do start on Monday. So you still have just enough time to get in, get registered for summer if you're interested in getting an even faster start. So regardless of when you join us, we look forward to working with you. We'll all stick on through the end, as Michelle had mentioned, for Q&A. So be thinking of your questions. And that's all that I have for you guys. So at this point, I want to pass it over to the next presenter, Ryan Mcnamara in Financial Aid. And he's going to talk to you about the FAFSA and getting financial aid to afford your college experience.
Great. Thank you, Karen. Hi, everybody. I am happy to see so many people on this call today. I am going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go through a quick PowerPoint presentation talking about financial aid, how to pay for school, and all the things like that. So hopefully you can see my screen. So first of all, welcome to this Zoom meeting and congratulations. For many of you, you are just about to get your high school diploma, finish that up, and on to your next step of life, which is hopefully Cvcc and receiving a college diploma. So we're going to get through this PowerPoint quickly. How do you pay for college? So there's two things that you need to do. The first thing is what Karen just went through for you, and that's to apply for admission. Once you have done that, the second thing is you need to apply for federal student aid. And the way that you do that is you complete the FAFSA. So the FAFSA is on that link there, fafsa.gov. Do not go to fafsa.com or fafsa.edu or fafsa.org. Those websites are going to charge you for the same thing that you can do on your own. So make sure you go to fafsa.gov. And if you have any questions on your FAFSA, you need help with it, you can call our financial aid office and somebody can help walk you through whatever issue you have on that FAFSA. So how much does Cvcc cost? Again, Karen had mentioned the in-state tuition rate, so $161.25 per credit hour. So just to give you an idea, if you are enrolled full-time, which is 12 credit hours, your charges would be 161 times 12. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much the charges are for attending. Now, the good part, though, is that there is financial aid available to you. So if you are planning to enroll in this upcoming fall in August, you are going to want to complete the 2020-21 FAFSA. Again, that can be accessed at fafsa.gov. You're going to need to create a FSA ID. That's your password, your username and password. Both you and a parent will need to fill out the FSA ID. If you are under the age of 24, keep in mind you do need a parent and their information on the FAFSA. So make sure if you're under the age of 24 that you and a parent both fill out for the FAFSA, all right? Keep in mind that once you submit your FAFSA, if our financial aid office requests any documents from you, we need those documents because your financial aid is not final until we have received all of those documents. So if there's something that we need from you, please make sure you get it into us in a timely manner. Even though we're not there physically on campus, we are able to still do all the functions that we normally would if we were on campus. So make sure that you get those get those documents to us that we need. So some of the financial aid that you may be eligible for. So for federal aid, the Pell Grant. So this is a need-based grant determined by the results of the FAFSA. It's awarded to undergraduate students, which would be you attending Cvcc. And again, keep in mind, if we need documents from you, make sure that we receive those, because we cannot award you your financial aid until those documents have been received. Another federal grant is the Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant. That's another need-based grant based on the FAFSA, and the award amount is about $100, but it is first come, first serve. So we only have a pot of money of that grant. So the first students that are accepted or complete their application and have the FAFSA on file, those are the students that will be in the running for those. So you want to hurry up and apply to the college and get your FAFSA in, so you may be eligible for those. There's some state grants. So if you are a Virginia resident and you are enrolled at least 6 credit hours or more, there's the Commonwealth Grant that you may be eligible for. The award amount will not exceed or not be larger than the tuition and fee amount, but you can receive this COMA or the Commonwealth Grant in addition to the Pell Grant if you're eligible for that. Other state grants that you may be eligible for, there's a VCCS grant and a PTAP. So I want to focus on the PTAP. That's a part-time tuition grant. If you're enrolled from 1 to 8 credit hours, you may be eligible for this part-time grant. And why do I point that out? Because if you're enrolled from 8 hours all the way up till full-time, 12 credit hours or more, there is state aid available to you. So again, if you just want to take 1 class a semester, there's aid available for you. If you want to go full-time, 12 credit hours or more, there's aid available for you. So all type students, we have aid available to help you with your tuition. And so then one other scholarship type that we have is our educational foundation. Again, so if you need more money than what the federal Pell Grant and the state grants offer, Cvcc has a foundational scholarship, and there's an application for that. The presenter after me, Chris, is going to dig down a little deeper into that, so I'm not going to take too much time on that. The last thing on the awards that I want to talk about are loans. Loans are available to students. They're guaranteed. You just have to fill out the online paperwork for them. Does not go through a credit check or anything like that. If you are enrolled and you apply for the application for the loan, you are eligible to receive the loan. If you're interested in working while on campus, you can work a part-time job on campus in the office. There's different opportunities that are available to you. The average student works about 15 hours a week. It's just like any other regular job. You get paid for the hours that you work. So that's a nice opportunity. Once everybody is back in school together, you can take your classes and work all in the same place. And so that's very convenient for you. There's a net price calculator on our website. So if you're curious how much financial aid may I be eligible for, you can go to the calculator. It takes no more than 30 seconds. It asks for a few questions from you, and it will give you an estimated financial aid award of what you may be eligible for. So if you want to take a look at that, you can do that. There's a tuition payment plan available. So if you have an outstanding balance for the semester and you cannot pay it all upfront in one lump sum, the monthly payment plan spreads it out over 3 or 4 months and makes it a little easier to make payments on that semester instead of having to come up with the full amount upfront. Yes, there is a question. Can I use financial aid to purchase books? And the answer is yes. You are able to use financial aid for book purchases through the bookstore. We point that out just so you know then that if your financial aid covers it, there's nothing that you have to pay out of pocket. So your financial aid can cover your tuition and fees and your books for your education. So that's a good thing. We just want you to know that obviously we know things have changed. So when you submit your 2020-21 FAFSA, it is looking at 2018 tax information. Things may have been going well 2018. Parents have jobs, full-time jobs. You know, things obviously have changed since then with the coronavirus. And we want you to know that we are sensitive to those things. If your family has been impacted by the coronavirus, maybe a parent has lost a job or they're not working as many hours as they have been back in 2018, please reach out to our financial aid office or to your admission counselor or your counselor. Let somebody know and they'll get you in contact with our office. There's potential adjustments that we could make to your FAFSA based on that information. So I just want you to be aware of that. So the last slide I have is our contact information. Our email address is financialaid@centralvirginia.edu. If you would like a copy of this PowerPoint presentation, I'd encourage you to email us and I can email this PowerPoint to you. So that is my slide. Kimberly, do we have any questions yet?
Kenny has a hand raised. He would like to ask a question.
Okay.
I'm going to unmute you, Kenny. You can ask the question. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not a student, but this will be my first time applying for the college, and I wanted to at least try to get a Pell Grant. Now you have made mention about I believe it's like a PTAP financial where a grant or something where you can get, like if you're doing like probably not 12 credit hours. My interest was in auto mechanics, so I'm not sure how many credit hours I would need for that. Maybe you could, kind of explain to me.
Yeah, so let me talk briefly just about the financial aid, and then I may pass it on to Kimberly or Brittany or Mark for the more specific for the auto mechanic. So the PTAP is a part-time grant. So if you are enrolled for the semester between 1 and 8 credit hours and you submit your FAFSA and you qualify for the state PTAP grant, then we can award you state money for 1 to 8 credit hours that you're enrolled for. So you still need to complete the FAFSA, so you need to make sure that you do submit the FAFSA, and we're here to help you. So if you need help with that, that's not a problem. And obviously you also need to apply for admission to the college. But now I think maybe if one of the counselors, do you have anything to add on his program of interest?
Well, I think I already applied already, so, okay.
Sure, I could talk a little bit of, Kenny, we do not have an auto mechanics program, but we do have many technical programs that you can get into. So maybe even with like the electrical to kind of go into maybe something with auto mechanics. There's a wide variety that we can talk to you about with different programs. So Mark's going to talk to you about our programs tonight, and Brittany will be able to talk to you a little bit about how to get started and what your steps are to get enrolled into classes here at Cvcc. So that hopefully helps a little bit, Kenny, with your question.
Okay.
All right, good question, Kenny. Yeah.
Good question, Kenny. Yeah.
So I am now going to pass. I'm going to pass on to Chris Bryant, who is going to talk to you about the foundation, that one of those slides that I had just talked about.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. Everybody, welcome. It's good to have you. I am honored to serve with the foundation. The foundation's been around for about 40 years. The college has been around for about 50 years. And so with our founders and those who make big decisions in the state, they realized after about 10 years of starting that they could add another layer to really support the students, staff, and faculty. And so with the foundation, our sole purpose is to raise money to give it away to ensure that students and staff have the things they need to be successful. And so it's fun for me to work with a team of volunteers and a staff team to, again, raise money, to do marketing, but also to provide scholarships and buy equipment. Those are the two biggest things that the foundation is engaged with. So scholarships. We give about $500,000 away in local scholarships. And then equipment. And it really depends on the equipment that is needed at the time. Now, of course, we are a state school, just like UVA, just like JMU, and we receive some of our funds from sort of the Commonwealth mothership. And then other funds come from tuition and students. And so with that being said, the foundation is another part of that, that if a faculty member has a wish list that is either not something that's on the state list or something new or something bold, if we need a new milling machine, if we need a new stethoscope, if we need a new, this was a fun request that came in last year. The folks over in welding wanted a metal muncher. And so I actually just like to say metal muncher all the time now. We provide things that the students and faculties need. So how do you get engaged with what you may need? For example, you heard Karen mention how to sort of apply for admissions, and you heard Ryan talk about how to fill out the FAFSA and some of the federal and state aid packages that are good for you. The foundation also has funds available for you. So once you do those two steps, which you're going to do anyway, you need to sort of enroll in your classes and choose a field of study. Once you've taken that third step, we have an application process that you go through at, and I'll put this up in the chat line, or Kimberly, if you can help me do that, it's cvcc.academicworks.com. That's where you're going to find our application for foundation scholarships, and you can go and apply. If you happen to live in the counties of Bedford County, Appomattox County, or Campbell County, you live in the tobacco region, and there are a specific number of grants that could be available for scholarships for you. So if you live in one of those three counties, now don't worry, if you live in Lynchburg or Amherst, there are many other scholarships that are available. You're not disqualified. We have scholarships we give out 500 or more scholarships a year. And of course, I told you a little while ago that we give out about $500,000 a year. So we're here to help you. We're here to make sure that you have scholarship opportunities. Our scholarships are now, the application process is open. We started on March 1st for the fall. So if you're interested in a scholarship, whether that be for the summer, and it's not too late, there are still funds available, or if you're interested in the fall, we have scholarships that could be available for you. So really all you need to do is what Karen said, what Ryan said, and then you apply for one of our foundation scholarships at cvcc.academicworks.com. And our staff and our team will get with you and work out the logistics for that. Some of our grants do cover tuition only. There are other grants that cover books and other items you may need. Something else that the foundation does that could help you out is we work with all of our alumni. So in this area, this immediate Central Virginia, what we used to call Region 2000, you can imagine there are tens of thousands of alumni that are out there working in all these industries and companies that have all come through Cvcc, because we have about 1,000 graduates a year. With that being said, we got 50,000 graduates out there. So we have a lot of connections. We have a lot of folks that can help you with career choices, that can help you with shadowing. And then they're also very, very happy to create a pipeline of skilled workers to go right into sort of the industry needs that they have. And so we have an alumni network that we work with to ensure that you're connected with not only the best instruction that you can get, but also some of the best shadowing and coaching you can get. And then also they help us with finances as well. We do have emergency funds that are available for students that have sort of a rainy day need. If there's something goes wrong with your car, if you have rent issues, if life happens, right? We just have witnessed it in the past 2 months, but it certainly happens in regular times that's not pandemic related. So we have emergency funds that you can apply for that will help you in tough times. And we have book funds as well, because books aren't cheap. So with that being said, we've got ways that we're going to wrap our arms around you. We're going to love on you. We're going to make sure that you have all the things you need to ensure that there are no barriers to your success. We want you to be successful. We want you to be happy. We want you to be a good student and then a good citizen. So we want to help you on your journey, and the foundation is here to make sure that happens. Now I see there may be a couple questions. Kimberly, is there anything there for me? Ooh, an alumnus, Dean Ferris. I love it.
There's a lot of alumni.
I graduated. I love it. Cool. Well, the only thing that I'll leave you on before I turn it over to someone who is far more intelligent than I want you to know that you're making a great choice by even considering Cvcc. You know, our education is very affordable. It's going to be $4,000 or $5,000 a year for a 12 to 15 credit year load. If you go to any other college in the state, you're going to be paying $15,000 to $20,000, depending on if you do room and board. And if you go to a private school, you could be paying $50,000 a year. So your $5,000 investment, with help from Karen and Ryan and the foundation, we're going to make sure that you get a very affordable education that is just as good as any of the education that you'll get from any of our partners, because all of those other schools have sort of agreements with us to ensure that our quality is just as good as what they're teaching. So you need to make a good choice right now that Cvcc is right for you right now. So we hope that you'll do that. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to turn it over to, again, someone who once beat up Chuck Norris in a fist fight, and she did win the last season of Dancing with the Stars. She's our navigator, and she is Britney Cochran.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Chris. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see everybody's faces and some names on here. I'm one of the college navigators at Cvcc, and my role is to help you be successful with getting started at Cvcc and throughout your first year. So we have heard from from Karen in the admissions office on how to get started with your application. So if you haven't already applied, that's something that one of us can help you with. If you've already applied, that is great. You're a step ahead. Same with financial aid. We heard from Ryan. If you need some help or assistance filling out your FAFSA, that's something that I'm able to help you with. We also have staff in our financial aid office if you feel more comfortable working with one of them. Now, once you have gotten your applications done, you get to start picking your classes and start working towards your degree or certificate program. So before you actually start on some of your classes, we might need to determine placement. And for the subjects of math and English, we have what's called the Virginia Placement Test that we typically would either come to your high school to do if you're a high school senior, or you would come to one of our campuses and complete it on campus. Since we are working remotely and we're all virtual right now, we have a few other methods in place, so I'll go over those with you to determine placement. Karen already mentioned one. If you are a college student, you've already taken college courses somewhere else and you've done classes like English and math, get those transcripts in, because we can go ahead and count those as your prerequisites. You've met the prerequisite that way. Now, if we have any high school seniors on here right now, congratulations on finishing your senior year. I know it looks a little different than you might have imagined. You will want to make sure that you get your high school transcripts sent to us. So I know that Karen, I think, mentioned that you can go ahead and still have them mailed, okay? So we're still accepting them by mail, but they can also be sent electronically as well. We can look at your high school GPA. We could look at SAT scores if you completed that, or the ACT, to possibly determine your placement into classes. If for whatever reason we're not able to use your test scores or GPA, then we have a few other methods we'll work with you on. We have a practice placement test that we can send for you to do online at home, and we've got a couple other forms that we can go over with you. But we definitely want to review your high school transcripts to kind of get a feel for where you were at. We're here to place you in the best class possible. We're not wanting you to be put in a class that you're not quite ready for, but we also are going to make sure you're not in any classes that you don't necessarily need, okay? If you are out of high school for at least 5 years, then you meet a requirement called the self-informed placement, and that is where you are kind of able to opt out of the placement test if you choose to. We go over this with you and help guide you and make sure that it's the best option for you, again, to be placed into the classes that you need. But once placement has been determined, then you're able to start enrolling in classes, and we're here to help you make your schedule. So like Karen mentioned, summer is going to be totally online, and then our fall, we're hoping to be back on campus. That's what we're planning for. We're still watching that by kind of day by day, but we'll also have online classes in the fall as usual too. So we can kind of help figure out if you're looking to be online or if you want to be possibly on campus or have a mix. We're there to help kind of make that schedule for you and then teach you how to enroll yourself. So in the future, you're able to go ahead and do that on your own if you want to. So I think that we have a poll for you guys to figure out what programs you are interested in studying. And then we will hear from one of our academic counselors, Mark Zicola, who will go a little bit more into detail on those programs and opportunities that we have.
All right. Thank you so much, Brittany, very much. So now, as an engagement piece for you, to find out what programs that you're actually interested in here at CVCC. So I'm going to launch the poll. Make it a little bit bigger so you can see all of them. I'll give you a little bit of time to put the answers in. All right. I'm going to end the polling, and then I'm going to share the results. Whoop, it went away. Hold on. There we go. So we have 1 for the transfer for science or engineering. We have 5 in the allied health, radiology, respiratory, or med lab. And then we have 1 from welding or machine tool. And then we have 2 for information systems technology or administrative management technology. So that's awesome. And I did have 1 say that they wanted to get into the one for Central School of Nursing. So thank you for sharing that information with us too, because this will help Mark be able to talk to you a little bit about how some of the programs with transfer as well as our technical programs. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Kimberly. Hi, everybody. I got to tell you, I was a little sad when I woke up this morning. As Karen alluded to, we're supposed to be at commencement this evening celebrating our family members' accomplishments. And I was a little bummed because we look forward to this day to celebrate great accomplishments, achievements. But seeing all of you here this evening has got me jazzed again. So, yes, I'm excited for all of you that choose to begin your future at CVCC. And hopefully, whether it's in 2 semesters, 2 years, or longer, we're at your commencement ceremony and celebrating with you as a member of the CVCC family, your accomplishments and your goals. So, most students enroll at CVCC for one of 2 reasons. You're looking to develop or secure a skill or a trade and wanting to jump into the workforce, or, oops, I'm here to transfer. I want to do 2 years at CVCC, transfer on to a 4-year institution and beyond. So we're going to talk a little bit about those 2 paths this evening. So on the technical side of things, Central Virginia Community College has wonderful relationships with area businesses and industry. And they count on CVCC to develop skilled and competent workers. So what we do is vital for the success of this region. I encourage students, whether it's allied health, which, by the way, is a selective program. If you're interested in our radiological technology, medical lab technology, respiratory therapy, please feel free to reach out to Brittany, myself, or our colleagues regarding the extra steps needed to be considered for those programs. Centra is a huge employer here in Lynchburg and the region, and as one student noted, he is interested in pursuing the pre-nursing prerequisites and requisites for those programs, and we can help you with guiding you on that path as well. please keep in mind when you're in one of these trade or technical programs, every day you go to class, you are auditioning for a job. You are attending class every day. You are on time. You are completing all of your homework and your assignments. You are giving your all to your projects because you want to be prepared when those employers come knocking on our doors, and they do, and they will. You're going to be one of the competent ones that is going to get recommended for a position with one of your dream employers. Okay, over to transfer. So you can go straight to the four-year institution, and you're going to be required to take English and math and history and lab sciences, speech class, some social sciences and the like, in addition to those classes pertinent to your major. Or you can choose to come to CVCC and take those same Englishes, maths, sciences, history, speech classes, etc., that are going to be accepted at those four-year institutions. So you can do half of that degree right here in Lynchburg at a significant savings. So the choice is yours, but we think we offer a nice deal. And Chris earlier had mentioned we've got guaranteed admission agreements, we've got articulation agreements, which essentially are contracts with the individual institutions, both public and private, even with some institutions outside of the Commonwealth. And you can, if you fulfill all of those requirements, there will be guaranteed admission at that institution of choice, a seat with your name on it for the semester you're desiring to attend. So that's a pretty neat incentive. Now, we're a little short of time, so I'm not going to babble too much longer, and I see a lot of smiles there, so glad I could put a smile on your face this evening. But I would like to end with a story. And it ties in with our guests, Chris, and the Educational Foundation. Life is not always fair. Not everybody has the same opportunities. And some years ago, there was a student I had the pleasure to work with who maybe had more obstacles in life than most folks at his age. But he wasn't discouraged. He wasn't going to give up. He wanted to be an engineer. And he didn't test directly into calculus. He needed to start a little bit lower to strengthen that foundation. It did not deter him. He worked like a fiend in his time at Cvcc. He met with me on a regular basis just as a check-in, to stay motivated, to stay focused, to keep on that path. This young man earned an Educational Foundation scholarship for his engineering pursuit, secured an internship with a local company, transferred to UVA, secured his bachelor's degree in engineering from UVA, and has had a nice, continues to have a wonderful career as an engineer, and it all started here at CVCC. And that story can be told of each one of you, no matter the major, the program of study that you want to pursue. We're so excited that you chose to share your evening with us. Without further ado, before we tell you about some of the activities and events you can get involved in here at CVCC, we're going to send it back to Kimberly for another poll.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, so this is kind of a fun poll to do. I'm going to go to a poll to find out what is your favorite ice cream flavor. So I'm going to put it there and give you a little bit to be able to answer that for us.
Just so you all know, we take our own poll beforehand to see who we think the winner will be. So, what do we think tonight? Ooh.
No, this is different.
Mm. This is great.
No.
Now I'm hungry.
I do want to know what the other is. So
Yeah.
Kimberly, if you could find out what the other is.
I will. All right, I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to share the results with you. All right, so it looks like we have 2 chocolate lovers out there. 1 vanilla, 4 cookies and cream, 2 mint chocolate chip, which is my favorite, 1 moose tracks, 1 rocky road, 1 birthday cake, and 2 cookie dough. And then 1 other. Who wants to share the other?
Oh, in the comment it says red velvet cake ice cream.
Good. Oh,
That's a thing?
so
Red
cookies
velvet
and cream.
cake ice cream?
Yeah.
No way.
Exactly. So I'm gonna stop sharing the results with you, but the reason we asked this poll is because we have some excellent activities on campus that you can participate in, and Deanne's gonna talk to you a little bit about why maybe we wanted to know your ice cream flavor.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I'm not going to keep you very long because I know I'm probably standing between you guys and dinner, so I'm going to give you the quick and dirty about student activities. So why student activities is important is because it gives you a way to be involved in campus. We provide leadership opportunities. It's a way for you to make new friends. You can volunteer, and then you also could get job experience. Under student activities, some of the areas that we cover, in addition to the events that have been mentioned, are the student clubs and organizations. So some of them are like our student veterans, our crew, and our games club. I'm also the advisor for Student Government Association. We also have another leadership opportunity with our student ambassadors who work very closely with Michelle Fletcher on going out for recruiting. Kimberly French and Britney Cochran are advisors for that group. But why Kim asked you about the ice cream is because that we have, when we kick off the semester, we have a welcome back picnic. And usually one of the big attractions for that is we always have ice cream because it's usually a hot day. And then at the end of the semester, another hot day, we always have ice cream there too. So it's good to know the flavors that we should have the ice cream vendors bring. But in addition to those, we bring in virtual reality and we host numerous other events. I just want to close by saying to you guys that although we're not on campus, we are the same Cvcc. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. We're all here to help you, as my colleagues have said, and all of the support services that are available if we were on campus are still available online. So know that we are here to support you and make sure that you have a successful experience at Cvcc. I want to thank you for joining us, and I'm going to turn it back over to Michelle Fletcher.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to piggyback real quick on Mark's story because Mark talked about a student that stayed focused, stayed motivated, and didn't give up. And the last line of the poem says, or reads, that the person that wins is the one that thinks he can. So I would say to all of you, stay focused, stay motivated. You have a whole team of people here. Behind you and willing to work hard with you to help you achieve your goal. So we've come into the Q&A portion of the afternoon, and I'm going to give it back over to Kimberly here in just a minute. We're not going to hold you long, but we do want to hear from you. So if you have questions, please bring them on. We want to answer your questions. Kimberly?
Thank you, Michelle. So I do have one in the chat feature that that you've attended another university and you sent your e-transcripts in. Do you still have to take the placement test? So I'll answer that for you, Thomas. It depends. It depends on what transfers in from your university. So if you've taken an English and a math and you've had a C or better in both of those courses and they're college courses, then they will transfer over and you will not need to take a placement test. But we do look at your transcripts on a course-by-course basis to see what will transfer over. And the transcripts, if they're e-transcripts, they do come to the admissions office where Karen was talking about. They receive the transcripts on your behalf. So, did that help? Yes, okay, all right. Any other questions? Anybody who wants to either put it in the chat feature or you can unmute yourself and ask the question for us. All right, Falcon. where can we find the scholarship information online that was in the PowerPoint? So if you go to our website under Central Virginia Community College, if you go to our website and you type in, there's a place at the top that says Education Foundation. You can click on that, and that's going to take you through all the scholarship information that you can review. But you can also, in the chat feature, is that one that has a scholarship link for you. That's the cvcc.academicworks.com. So that will be the one that you'll want to go to for that. And it looks like Thomas has a hand raised.
Kimberly, can I add one thing real quick?
Sure,
Also for Fallon, if you would like to just email the financial aid office, we can email you the link directly. So if you want to just email financialaid@centralvirginia.edu, we can send you the link right to you.
Okay, Thomas and then Kenny. So Thomas has his hand raised, so we'll let Thomas go, and then Kenny, you'll be next.
Yes, I just have a quick question. I'm trying to get into summer classes, so when would I be able to take the placement test between now and Monday? And I'm also waiting on my FAFSA, Emily, as well for classes.
Brittany, do you want to answer his question for him?
Sure. So Thomas, you've applied to Cvcc, correct?
I have.
Awesome. And then have you done your 2019-2020 FAFSA yet? Did you say you were waiting to do that, or you've submitted?
I have not done that yet.
Okay, so you would want to do that tonight. That would be good if you could get that turned in tonight. And as far as classes, so our summer classes are going to start on Monday, so May 18th. So tomorrow, if you can, we'll put all of our contact information down here in the chat, okay? If you prefer to call the main number tomorrow and just get first available, or my email will be there, go ahead and just send me an email, and then we can go ahead and figure out, what classes you're eligible to take. I think you had also previously mentioned, are you having your transcripts from another university sent to us? Is that correct?
I had my transcripts from the Citadel and from Liberty University sent over. They should be with you guys now.
Great. Okay. So yeah, just reach out to one of us. Okay. So just reach out to one of us tomorrow, and then we can go ahead and get your, hopefully get a schedule made for you and get you started in the summer. Okay.
All right. I appreciate it. So the email is going to be in the chat.
So Thomas, just put that in the chat. I've put all of our email addresses in the chat, and also the counselor main phone number. So if you want to call, we'll get our counselor will get that information for you, and we'll be able to get you registered for classes. Tuition is due tomorrow for summer classes. So when you enroll, you'll just want to make sure if the financial aid hasn't gone through, because it takes 3 to 5 business days to process, that you'll want to pay for your classes. And then if you're eligible for financial aid, that can come back and reimburse you for your classes.
Okay.
All right. And so next was Kenny. You have your hand raised.
Six. So going, trying to get into college and everything is a big step. Plus it's kind of foreign to me. First of all, I would like to know where would I get a transcript from of the school that I went to?
Okay, for one thing, whatever school that you went to, you would want to get in touch with them and request your transcript to be sent to our admissions and records office. Our address is on the homepage. If you go to our homepage, you'll be able to find the address to be able to send that to. It can be, it's a great step to be able to get started with that. And we are all here, anyone in that chat feature, that if you go in and look, we are all here to help support you, to get you started, to help you along the way. That's what we are here for. We want to see you be successful. So reach out to any of us and we'll be glad to help you with that.
Okay. And the next question is, do you all think that you will probably have like a open class in fall?
Are you talking about on campus?
Yes.
I'm going to let Dean Ferris answer that question for you.
Okay.
That is the $1 million question right now. I can tell you, we are spending a lot of time and energy right now trying to do the best thing that we think we can do. And so I can't give you a yes or no right now on anything exactly with that. I will say the thing that is guiding us, and we have amazing leadership with our president, the thing that is guiding us more than anything, Kenny, and really to all of you guys, because everybody's wondering that right now. We are guided by the safety of our students and our staff and our community.
Right.
That's the first point for decision. Everything else comes after that. And that's why it's such a hard decision, frankly, because there's a lot that we don't know right now. We want to give you guys certainty, but we do so, like I said, placing safety and security first. So
that's right.
Stay on the lookout. I really appreciate the question. It's a great question. And we will be making an announcement probably within the next few weeks. But it's a tough one, boy. That's a tough one.
Yes.
Thank you, Kenny.
Appreciate it, the information.
Thank you. And Morgan, I see your hand raised if you want to go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. For those who want to do Centra, for like this, go through Centra, is there like a specific way we apply for classes?
Absolutely. So you'll want to reach out to one of us as well, because there are prerequisites that you have to have. We have what's called a General Studies Health Sciences pathway. And that helps you to be able to get your prerequisites out of the way for Centra School of Nursing. So we can work with you to get you in that program and be able to get you guided in the right direction and get you the courses that you need.
Okay, thank
you. Sure. Any other questions that you have? All right, I have one last poll just to see how we did for y'all tonight. I'm going to launch it. Again, we do not know who's answering these questions. Did you find the information helpful? Was the information worth your time? And did you learn something new today by attending? All right, I'm going to share the results. It looks like we did. Looks like all of you have said that we did meet your needs. So we appreciate you helping us out with that and engaging in the polls with us. And now I'm going to hand it over to Michelle Fletcher so she can do the wrap up for you.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. On behalf of myself and all of the listeners to the panel, you did a beautiful job. Thank you for all the great information you put out there this evening. I have a couple of announcements or just reminders. In the month of June, we will be highlighting our technical skill-based programs. There were about maybe 5 or 6 of you that were interested in the allied health program, respiratory, radiology, nursing. And I would ask you that if you are interested, to please go to our website, because in the month of June, we will be highlighting, again, different programs. Respiratory radiology will be among the programs that we're highlighting. Someone from those departments will be talking specifically about those areas. So please come and join us. Go to the website, do the registration form, and we will get you on the list to attend one of those sessions. Please make sure you visit the website for future activities, virtual activities that we have planned for prospective students. And again, remember, all of the sessions have been recorded. So at your leisure, feel free to go and listen to any of the sessions that you would desire. On behalf of myself and the rest of this team, thank you and have a great evening.
And can I just say one more thing? Next week, we have students coming and speaking with you as well. And so to hear a perspective from a student on what it's like to be able to start at Cvcc and to be able to continue on, and some of the things that are some tips and tricks from a student can be helpful. So hopefully you'll join us next week as well.
Great. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you. Thank y'all for coming.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. It's great to meet you all.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Okay, Thomas, just before you hang up, so I know we were chatting, what time works for you tomorrow?
Just 1 second. Whenever in the afternoon.
Okay, so in that.
Morning, afternoon. I'm fine either way. I'm up pretty early.
Okay. Do you want to do like 11:30, or did you want to do anytime after 1:30?
Yeah, 11:30 would be good if that's the earliest.
Okay,
And
great.
Brittany, I'll send you his student ID number.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Thomas, is Crickle Dickledorf with you? Hey!
What are you doing?
Nothing. It's so
Who are you messaging on there? I was like, she was my teacher. I'm writing notes for him.
good job. Good seeing you.
Good to see you.
Pleasure meeting you guys. Take care now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sorry.
Is the meeting on campus at 11:30?
Nope. So campus is closed right now, so we can set up either a Zoom meeting like this, or we can just be a phone call.
Yeah, Zoom works fine. Phone call.
All
works
right.
fine.
All right. Well, Donna's going to send me your information, and I'll set up the Zoom meeting, and then I'll send the link to you so we can meet tomorrow. Okay.
All right, I appreciate
The
it.
AOL email address still good?
Gmail.
Gmail.
All right, give it to me. Say it real quick.
philbricktw@gmail.com.
Okay. If not, I know how to find Sydney.
Yep, you got it.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Well, there we are, everyone. Good job.
Brittany,
Wow,
he
we
started
have a lot of-
texting me because I had his
Stop recording, Michael. I'm sorry. Just